Welcome to Positively Muskegon. It's Andy O'Reilly, and I am here with my dear friend Zaneta Adams, who is one of those go-getters in town. I'm going to tell you what, you want to see somebody that can just grab the bull by the horns and go with it. This is the one right here. She has started this organization. We talked about it before, the WINC. Tell me a little bit about the WINC and why you got things going.
So WINC for All Women Veterans was started in 2014 on the premise that, women, we need each other to kind of help get through the healing.
And you had quite a military career. Let's go.
Yeah,
in case people didn't catch the story before, talk about that.
Well, I won't say the military career. I mean, I wasn't like a decorated officer or anything, but I did serve 8 years in the military. And in 2005, I was severely injured. I fell off a juice-and-a-half truck with the rails up, and was told I'd never walk again, and went to this severe depression after that.
That's quite a military career. I know you play it down because you're kind of a humble person, and I get that, but that's a lot.
Yeah, well,
you've been through a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and having 3 kids at home at the time, it was devastating for me. And there's so many programs out there, and I will not dismiss any of those programs because they're great programs. But while I was going through what I was going through, they weren't great for me necessarily.
Right.
I would go to a lot of these events, and they would be just all males. I'd be the only female there, and so I was getting some of the recreational things going, but I wasn't getting the internal healing that I needed.
Sure.
Until I went to a women veterans retreat, and that's kind of when my life started to turn around. But those were once a year. And I felt that we needed something that was more frequent for the women veterans to kind of get out of the ruts that they're in.
Strength in numbers.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but there was a study done in 2016 with the Department of VA, and women veterans are 2.5 to 5 times more likely to commit suicide than their civilian female counterparts.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and the number has actually risen. I believe that while males have risen 34% as far as suicides are concerned, veterans, females have risen 67%. So what WINC is trying to do is to combat those numbers, not just those numbers, but because you may not know that you're at that place.
Right.
But when you feel like you're isolated and you're alone, and as you know, women veterans don't self-identify, then you need something. So WINC provides peer support groups twice a week, Thursdays from 6 to 7, and Tuesdays from 6 to 7, Thursdays from 12 to 1 at 165 West Apple Avenue. Okay. So we provide peer support, and whether it be you coming together with your peers to talk about a military sexual trauma that might have occurred, whether you're getting together to talk about just some of the daily struggles you deal with being a military person in a civilian world, we're there to kind of assist you.
Sure.
We try to provide monthly meetups. This last one we gave away brand new designer gowns for the women so that they can come to our awards, which I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, it's coming up. I know it's a big deal. It's really
and not
cool
have to worry about
too,
it.
right?
Yeah. So we try to do that, and that kind of leads us into the award ceremony that we have coming up.
But I want to stress the thing too, that everything you're talking about here is something I believe in, and something that I think has been a big part of my past and my saving grace, and that's strength in numbers. And that no matter where you think you are in this life, no matter where you feel in that isolation, we're not all that different, and we're not alone.
No, and we need each other.
We do.
And I encourage anybody that's watching. Yeah.
Strength in numbers. That's what I'm getting at.
I run into female veterans all the time. I was just at the county building, and I was talking at the clerk's office, and the woman was like, "Yeah, I'm a veteran, but we don't self-identify, so we don't know that."
Right.
And so I encourage you that if you're a female veteran, check us out because we're doing great things. We are trying to reach you, and we get it. Like, it's funny when you've served so much time in the military, and you ask somebody to do something like, my kids probably hate me for this, but you ask them to do something, you expect it to get it done now,
right?
And so it gets really frustrating, and it creates anxiety and frustration when you're dealing with people who aren't used to that. Get it done now, and so maybe you need to get that off your chest. So
strength in numbers.
Yeah, come talk to us for sure.
But anyway, you've got this thing going since 2014 now. You're growing. It's not only just been local, but it's starting to spread a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually have been doing events and having a presence in Washington D.C. We have board members all over the country. We have a board member in South Carolina, Texas, Illinois, and then obviously all over Michigan. And we are reaching out all over Michigan and all over the country, really, as we try to bring these women together. So
let's talk about this award ceremony coming up.
Yep. So April 26th at 6:30 p.m. at the Folkert Hub in Muskegon, Norton Shores. And Norton Shores, we're having a HER2 award ceremony. And you might wonder what HER2 stands for. Well, part of our mission is to honor, empower, encourage, revive, and restore women of the military, and that's what the HER to the second power stands for. And so the women who are receiving these awards embody that. And we're not just doing awards for female veterans. We actually have a couple of awards we're giving out to community females who are doing things giving back to veterans as well. So we have honorees from all over the country, several here in Muskegon and in Michigan, and abroad in Michigan, that will be coming together. We have a celebrity guest, Ivan Ellis from Empire, the show Empire, and
there's a buddy of mine that was just on that show last week.
Really?
Yeah, he got a small walk-on role, and he played a paramedic going into a thing, so it was kind of a cool thing for us to see him on that too.
Really?
Guy from Whitehall, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay. I know, right? Anyway.
Yeah. So and he's on the new show The Chi on Showtime as well.
Okay.
And he'll be coming out to our event. We have actress, model, and retired Air Force is going to be one of our co-hosts, Dana Blake Tolson, and then our speaker, which is really cool. Her name is Michelle Jones, and she is actually the very first female command sergeant major of the U.S. Army Reserves.
Wow.
So she's going to be our speaker, which is dynamic, and she's coming from D.C. to speak for us.
Huge.
Yeah, so we have a nice lineup, and this is also a fundraiser for us, so that we can raise money for our retreats we have in the summer, and we're actually looking to do a military sexual trauma retreat, which is going to be huge because probably about 75% of the participants last year at our retreat, which it was not open to just women who have military sexual trauma survivors, but about 75% of the women that attend it are military sexual trauma survivors.
No kidding.
And so we feel that we need an intensive camp retreat just for them.
Yeah.
And so that's what some of these funds are going to be going to.
Important things.
Important things, of course.
Really important things.
Yeah.
Talk about the event itself, or tickets and all that kind of stuff. Tell me a little bit about these.
So tickets are available at it's HER2 Awards, so HER2 Awards.eventbrite.com. They're $50.
We'll link that up. That's a piece of cake.
They're $50, and like I said, there's dinner. I know people have been asking. It's really good dinner. But like I said, the proceeds from that will go towards those camps. And actually, we're working hard to get grant funding so we can have a military sexual trauma therapy center here in Muskegon.
Awesome.
There's only 5 in the country
really?
For women veterans, so we're hoping that we can be a 6th.
All these things just continue to bubble up, and they continue to happen here, and it's amazing. There's a proclamation coming up too, if I'm not mistaken.
There is, really cool. So there's actually only 5 states in the country that actually have a Women Veterans Observance Day.
Okay.
We're working to get Michigan to be a 6th, but as the first city, as far as I've done the research and as far as I know, the first city in Michigan to actually have a Women Veterans Observance Day will be the city of Muskegon. And we're actually going to have a proclamation by the mayor of the city of Muskegon on April 26th.
Very cool.
2018. It's going to be at the Silver Sides Museum.
Very cool.
At 10 a.m. So anybody's welcome to come out and participate in that historic, monumental event as we pay homage to the women veterans here in the city of Muskegon.
You know what I like best about talking to you?
What?
When you sit down, you've got that, I served, I did my part. You got that very humble, very, very low-key attitude about things. But as you talk about what you do now, to watch the pride in your eyes come out, and to see there it is right there, I got it. I know what I'm doing. To watch what you do and why you do it, and your purpose-driven. Your purpose-driven life at this point, you're a rock star. I told you when I sat down, a rock star here.
Well, you do
great things.
I believe I'm here for a reason.
Yep.
When I fell off that truck in 2005, my section of 9, there were 10 of us, my section of 9 that went over to Iraq, they all died in a roadside bombing. So I believe that my life was spared for such a time as this. And whatever I can do, look, I use the support group too, because sometimes I need it,
Amen. Don't we all?
But whatever I can do to help our female veterans is what I'm striving to do. And that kind of, we're branching off. We're doing something else in partnership with another organization called our Military Sisterhood Initiative, which will be officially launched on April 26th. And the Military Sisterhood Initiative is not just for veterans, it's for all women of the military. It's going to be this comprehensive network because I believe that we each are our own resources. And it's a place where we can find resources, we can be each other's resource, we can comment. I mean, I get those late night phone calls and emails that, I'm ready to end it all. Well, I try to respond to all of those, but I'm only one person.
I know the feeling.
But if we have a network of people and mentors for those who are in to deal with things, I think that it'll make the community of the military a better place. So.
You're pretty awesome.
Thank you.
All the details will be right here on Positively Muskegon. Make sure you support Zaneta and the work she does. Thank you to those who have served, and if you'd like to get out and just be a part of a great night and meet some pretty cool celebrities, you can be at the Folkert Community Hub again. All those links will be right here on Positively Muskegon. You keep on the awesomeness, and I'll keep showing up and telling your story.
Thank you.
Fair enough?
Hope to see you there, yes.
Yeah, right? All the details right here on Positively Muskegon.